Perfect Dragons, I am back. I can't believe I'm here to do my February TBR. So we're going to keep doing the game that we did last time, Welcome to the Magical Forest. I am going to be changing a few things, and also this is the month of a competitive readathon that I'm doing, so I'm going to not do my companion prompt because I feel like I'm gonna have enough to do and a lot of the books I'm reading are not in my control. So, but a couple of things I do want to focus on this month. I want to read a bunch of romance. I do want to read some more booktuber favorites because that vlog did not happen this month. It was just a little bit chaotic, but I do want to do a booktuber favorites vlog, and I also do want to finish all the roles for Rainy, but I'll talk about Rainy at the very end. So the first thing we are going to pick is we are going to pick part of my choosing my species, and at the start of the year I did wind up picking a fantasy, so I have to read a fantasy book every single month. And to make this rather easy on myself, to be very honest, I am gonna put Onyx Storm on here for that. Like, that is the first book that I will probably finish in the month of February if I don't finish it beforehand. But I am going to put Onyx Storm on there because it is a fantasy book. It is a romantasy. It's very hyped. It's on my list. And depending on when I start it, it could give my team a lot of points if it works for a prompt. But this is going to be my audiobook for a while, so it may be all I listen to for a bit. So I'm going to add Onyx Storm on my TBR for that. For sure. And then here was the graphic. I am not good. Here's the graphic. I am not going to do my companion, and I'm also going to change how I do companion, but we'll talk about that in March. I am going to just do 1 to 600 pages. So technically in January I rolled a 1, so I had to read a manga or a graphic novel, which I did do. But I am going to change that just because I find that a little bit easier than doing how I was doing, because it's a little bit complicated. So we're going to skip that. And then the next graphic you're going to see is the bulk of my TBR. So let me show you that graphic. And I'm going to roll a dice. It's going to be 1 to 6. And one of these is going to tell me what list I have to focus on first. So. Ooh, 3. Okay, so I need to pick 2 books for my 5-star read predictions for the year and toss those on my TBR. So let me go look at my graphic. And I had videos about all of these, so I always put 2 for a case, in case like something goes wrong and like I need a backup plan. Which, you know, could happen. So my 5-star read predictions, I think that's what I said. Yeah, and I will have shown you the graphic at some point. If not, here is the graphic. So for my 5-star read predictions, I am going to put 2 on here. I'm going to try to pick something that is like romance themed, I guess. So I'm gonna pick some new things that I have. What do I have? Well, Onyx Storm is on this list, so that is automatically 1. And another one that I am probably gonna add on here is Cruel is the Light by Sophia Clark. I will attach a photo here. This is one that I think is coming in one of my book boxes, but I also did get approved for an e-arc, and it sounds like the perfect romantasy, so I'm gonna add that to this TBR, and here is a photo. At some point I added the graphic, so the next thing we're going to do is going to choose your weapon, and I have a bunch of different ones. The graphic did say 1 to 6, and I'm just going to pick what the number is. Ooh, a 3. Oh, okay, so this is actually perfect. I have to read a NetGalley book, and I actually have the perfect one because I am on a blog tour for this, so I do have to read it relatively quickly. So I'm going to go get the title for you, and I'll be back when I have that. So the book that I'm going to pick up is The Forest, King's Daughter by Ellie Black. This is the same author that wrote Frostheart a while ago, and I'm on a blog tour for it, but it seems to be a young adult, friends to more, like not friends to more, but a romantasy with enemies to more vibes, set in a forest. It sounds great. I like the cover. I'm on a blog tour, so I'm gonna add this one to the TBR pile, and hopefully that it gets read. So net weapon. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm just adding that to the pile. All right, and then the next thing that we have to do is we have to see how many cards I'm rolling for books on my TBR. So here we go. Oh, 6 cards. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Well, that did not go the way that I was hoping it to go, but that is okay. So I have to pick 6 cards. I will be honest, I have a lot of stuff on my TBR cart that didn't get read this month, so I'm going to try to put as many things back on my TBR as I can with some fluctuations as needed. So if you saw these books on my previous TBR, just know they didn't really go anywhere, and that's okay. So yeah, I am going to make sure my cards are set, and then we are going to pull 6 cards. And just remember, we are doing Get a Clue Readathon, which I will talk about at the end. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, so we are back. I guess we are making this more complicated, as always. All right, so the first card is, ooh, pick up add a recently purchased book to my TBR. So we did get a few things, but what I think I'm going to do is I'm not going to add Onyx Storm on this list, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the Baby Dragon Cafe by A.T. Karash to my TBR. This just came in the mail, and it's cozy, it's quick, it has dragons. So I'm going to add this to my TBR. There is a small possibility it may get read at the end of the month, but I am going to put this on there. If I had to put a backup book in case this does get read, I am also going to put on this book, The Royal Heirs Academy by Lindsay Dugan. So I'm going to toss these two both onto my TBR because one might get read and they're both very, very digestible. So this is a Baby Dragon Cafe book, and then this is Royal Heirs Academy. So I'm going to stick one of these on my TBR cart, but the other one might get read. So, okay, so we have recently purchased. Okay, and the next card is a color wheel choice. Ooh, okay. Let me see if I can do that on my phone. Me to see if I can do it. I normally do this on my computer, but I think I should do it on here. So let me just see if I could get color. Sorry, I feel like I'm not not doing a very good job filming today. So if this feels a little bit if I feel a little bit discombobulated, maybe it's because I am, but ooh, so I have to pick a book that has a purple or a green. I don't know why I did this one. I should probably just do another one, but here, I'll just do this one. This one will be easier to see too. This one might be easier. Okay, so I have to pick a book with a purple cover, so I'm gonna go see what I have hanging about, and then I will pick something. So So I'm going to put this book back on here because eventually I would like to listen to this. This was the plan, was to listen to The Late Miss Willoughby by Claudia Gray. This is also a booktuber's favorite, so it will fit into a vlog that I have planned, but I just didn't get around to it this month. I really do like the first one. I think that this will be for in Julie's video at some point when I read booktuber's favorites. So yeah, I'm going to stick this back on my TBR and hopefully it gets read. And then number 3, the book 3 choice is going to be a book on my self-destruct TBR, which I don't think I've tackled that list like at all. I don't think I did. Let me just see if I've tackled anything. I have not anything on this list. Ooh, you know what? Okay. So I know that one of the booktubers I'm following is reading this, so I'm going to put Servant of Earth by Sarah Hawley on this TBR. It was one that I did really, really want to get to, and I have liked her other series quite a bit, and it is a romantasy. We are in our romance era, and I'm just hoping the prompts for Rainey's Readathon works for some of these books, or I'm going to have a very, very upsetting TBR month for the game-wise, but not for, like, Rainey's TBR. So yeah, I'm going to put that on the TBR, and hopefully I like that book. That would be very, very exciting. So yeah, that will be Self-Destruct. And the next card we're going to pick is Worst on Someone's List. Okay, so I'm going to have to go see if I took that stats. I think I may have. I'm going to try to see if a book that I'm actually interested in reading. So, if worst comes to worst, I could do Powerless by Elsie Silver, because everyone and their mother has DNF'd that book, so I could do that, but I want to see if I have something physical that I'm, like, still interested in reading, so let me go find something, and if worst comes to worst, we'll do Powerless by Elsie Silver. Okay, so I am going to put on When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker, and I'm going to see how I feel about this book. To be very honest, I have heard such conflicting things. I've heard this has been some people's best book of the year, it's been some people's worst, so I'm going to put this on it. Also, I may also toss on here The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett. I will attach a photo here. This is a book that I DNF'd. So many people love it, but there is a few people that don't like it, and I was really struggling reading it physically, so I want to give the audio a shot, so I may also read that. So I'm going to put this book on here because this is going to be a very, very dragon-heavy TBR right now, but I have heard really conflicting reports. I do have the audiobook from Book of the Month, so I will be able to listen to it if I have to. So yeah, that is what I'm going to put. I'm going to put it on that book and also The Tainted Cup as another option. We have 2 more, so let's see what we get. I'm trying to like make sure the cards like actually are the cards I should be pulling. Ooh, a reread. Huh. Okay, well, you know what? I can also add a smart choice. So I think I'm going to add A Court of Thorns and Roses to this TBR. I'm going to attach a photo here. I read this book when it first came out, and I liked it, and I just got afraid of the hype, and I, like, put the book down. The problem is, I have also recently read A House of Sky and Breath, and I realized pretty late into that book that I probably need to finish this series. So I want to give this book another shot. I want to listen to it. I want to listen to the audiobook that I have, see how I feel about it. I think I even have the graphic audio, and see how I feel. So I'm going to add A Court of Thorns and Roses to this TBR. It's Romantasy month, it's Valentine's Day month. I think it will be perfect, and then I can finally move on and read the other books that I have on my TBR. So that is what that is going to be. And then our last card that we're choosing is going to be a companion series book. So I think this was the one that I had on my other TBR. I don't think I read anything for it. Well, I can also pick up the Ellie Alexandra book, which is Fudge and Jory, which, you know, could work. That could be a possibility. So maybe I'll put that on here. But yeah, I don't think I have any other companion books like on it. So yeah, I'm going to add Fudge and Jory by Ellie Alexandra. I'm going to attach a photo here. This is another cozy mystery series that I'm trying to get caught up on, and I was supposed to read it this month and it just didn't happen, so I do want to add that to here. And those are all the prompts. So yeah, let me do my last graphic for you guys, and then we're going to talk about Rainy Blues, Get a Clue Readathon, and we're going to kind of wrap some stuff up. But yeah, Fudge and Jory, I will attach a photo here. This is like the 4th book in the series, and I think it takes place at like a chocolate competition. I really did like the first 2 books in this series. I had a fun time with them. So yeah, I'm excited for that. So now the next graphic you are going to see is what is one vlog it's gonna be a bit this is my series part, I think. Yeah, so I have to talk to you guys about the questing I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna attach that graphic here. It's basically just our reading vlog that I am going to do. I have 6 different options, and we're gonna see, is this gonna be nice to me or not so nice? A 2. Oh, okay, that's actually not that bad. I have to do one of my recs from a booktuber. So basically I'm doing this series throughout the year where I'm taking a couple of recs from a booktuber of my choice, and I just have to read from them. And I don't know who I'm going to focus on. I think that probably the easiest one would probably be do Leandra from TBR0, because a lot of her books are library borrows. So yeah, I have to do a team up recs from a booktuber. I'm going to choose that in the moment and see kind of what I'm feeling like. But one of those vlogs will definitely get filmed in February, which is really exciting. So stay tuned for that. I don't know which booktuber I'm going to choose, but I'm excited. And then the next thing you're going to see is my series. I am really trying to get better at catching up and completing series. So we have a challenge. Here you go. And this is going to be, what is the vlog I'm going to be focusing on? So I'm going to roll a 3. I keep getting this. I keep getting like a companion vlog. In my defense, I did read a bunch of companion books last month, and I just didn't film it. I was filming it for other things, so I have to read a companion vlog. I am really gonna try to read a couple more sequels this month as well. So maybe because of the readathon, I'm just gonna kind of do a vlog with some books in a series, because that really is my goal. But I'm just going to give this a pass. I'm going to try to do a companion vlog, do a couple books in some companion series that I am in the middle of, like my Veronica Speedwell series, maybe another one of the Ellie Alexandra ones, and just kind of make sure that I'm caught up to date. I also just may do a series track down vlog where I kind of put books onto that like to make my spreadsheet look a little better. So maybe I'll do a check-in vlog on the series and see kind of the ones that I am in the middle of. So yeah, that is all of the stuff that is for this TBR. Now we're going to talk about some reads that I'm just thinking of reading, my nonfiction selections, and the books that I'm putting back on my TBR card. So this is about the readathon we're going to talk about, and just other stuff that I'm adding to it. So I am in Rainy Blue Reads her Get a Clue Readathon, and I would have to look up what I actually am. I can't remember, but I'm going to look it up for you and tell you, because I'm pretty sure I am, I think I'm green. Am I team green? I can't remember. But it was so much fun last year that I really had to do it again. Yeah, I am on team green this year, so I'm really excited. So a lot of my reading this month is going to be a bit of me waiting to see what the prompts are. And again, trying to just read all the prompts. I am going to be an expert. I am not going to be a junior or a senior detective. So yeah, that is my plan for that. And again, we don't know the prompts. We don't know anything. I don't even know the side quests I can do, because everything is like a spinner wheel. But I'm really excited for it. So now let me go get the books that I'm putting back on my TBR card that clearly did not get read in January. But they are still in my head. And that is why they're going to go back on my card. So I definitely do want to get to some of my series. So I am going to put back on Unraveled by Shannon Messenger. And this is a quick book. I do have the audio as well. So I'm going to stick this back on there. And I'm also going to stick back on Amari and the Despicable Wonders because I want to read this one as well. So these are two that I'm just going to stick on there. They're not romance themed, but they definitely are some quicker books. So I'm going to toss those on the TBR. These are some 3 arcs that I would like to get around to if I can. Fable at the End of the World by Ava Reed is one that I would like to get around to. The Scorpion Queen by Mia Farris is another one that I would like to get around to. And also Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drew. I've actually heard really good things about this book. It was a Goodreads finalist that people have been reading and have enjoying, and I got this at Comic-Con. So I'm going to add these 3 books back on the TBR cart because then I will remember that they exist. But also I'm just trying to give myself some options. That really is the goal for a competitive based readathon. So I actually am reading stuff on my TBR. And these are just some 3 like sequels that are in my head to read. Reckless by Lauren Roberts. I do need to read Powerful as well. A Venom Darkened Sweet by Judy I. Lynn. And also A Darkest Within Us by Trishis Levissera. These are some books that like I just am going to keep on my TBR card because, again, having options is a good thing. So I'm going to toss these back on my TBR, but they are definitely sequels that I would like to focus on. And they all have a romantic element to it, so I think it'll be good for the month of February, and they are also quick. So I'm also just going to toss some like random options. Under Lock and Key by Lana Ferguson is a romantic comedy that I would love to get around to. I've heard some really good things about this author as well, so I'd like to get her on the TBR. Paladin's Grace by T. Kingfisher. I have read books by this author before and have really liked them. I do have the audiobook for it as well, so I'm excited to possibly get around to this. I have 2 thrillers, which honestly in the middle of a readathon sound just about great. The Summer She Went Missing by Chelsea Escasio and Signed, Sealed, Delivered by Cynthia Murphy. And then I am going to toss Powerful back on here because it's quick and I should probably read this before I read Reckless. And Fearless is coming out. So yeah, those are all the books that I'm tossing on here. And now I'm going to talk about a couple of my loosely required reads that like may fall on here at some point. So yeah, let's talk about them. So I also want to keep going with my nonfiction trend. So I'm going to read the Lisa Marie and her daughter's autobiography. I'm going to add a photo here. I can't remember the name of it. But that's going to be the nonfiction book that I'm focusing on for this month. So I'll touch a photo here. And I heard her daughter like promoting it. And then I also did get 2 books from my library, which I'm also going to stick on my TBR. One is The Master Royal by Caitlin Chesia. This is a murder mystery that I was really excited for when I saw it. It like sounded really interesting. And also Honeysuckle and Bone by Trisha Tobias that I got from the library. And again, it's a rather quick book. February always goes by so fast because it's like a quicker month. We have a few days off from work as well. So yeah, and I'm really excited for the Get a Clue readathon. Sorry if this vlog felt a little bit off kilter. It probably didn't seem that off kilter to you, but to me it did seem a little bit off kilter. So let me know if you are participating in Rainy Blues readathon, if you are on the Onyx Storm train, all of those fun things, and I will talk to you guys soon for another video. Bye!